Hello there, my name is Thomas O'Regan, and over the last 3.5 years, me and my wife have built an 11 property portfolio. In the last 3.5 years, we have taken our equity position from 45K to $1 million. And at the moment, I'm helping a lot of novice investors invest in their first, second, and third pieces of real estate to build a property portfolio. Now, I have these conversations regularly with novice investors, and one of the big problems I find is a lot of people, a lot of investors that are just getting into the game invest through emotion. A lot of the time, and this is a big pitfall, you have to look, or every time if you're going to make a successful investment and not have it be a fluke, you have to look at it through an investment lens. That means looking at the numbers like that, okay? So what a lot of people are actually doing though, and I have to retrain them and drill it into them, is they are thinking to invest through emotions, and it's absolutely ridiculous. They're like, oh, this house looks nice, I think it would be a good investment, I would like to live here, and so on and so forth. And that's how they think through buying a house. Now, the real questions you should ask if you want to build a large property portfolio are, what is the cash flow of this investment? How much capital am I going to have to put into it? What are the ongoing costs of this investment? Seriously, people buy investment properties and they don't actually know how much it's going to cost them on a weekly or yearly basis. They don't run those numbers prior to buying the property. Or if they do, they don't go into enough detail. So if you want to build a large property portfolio, it's in your best interest to know this sort of stuff, because it's a big difference between having, $10,000 positive cash flow in a large portfolio, or amassing a portfolio very quickly, not knowing your numbers, and all of a sudden you're somehow $100,000 to $120,000 negative in cash flow. Okay, so that's super important. People need to ask themselves, what is the replacement cost of this property? That's a big one. That's very important. A good investment is something that you are buying close to the land value, or at least you should know and understand what the land value is of the property you're buying, and you should know and understand what the replacement cost of the property you're buying. And in my opinion, if you are buying a property close to the replacement cost, or even under the replacement cost, that is a very good investment, full stop, right? Because you cannot build anything for less than the price of that property. So effectively, if someone was to build a property next to your property, they would have to charge a lot more money to sell the property, and the difference between that new property and your property would bring the price of your property up. Why? Because at the end of the day, yes, people are going to pay a premium for new stuff, but it doesn't make sense to pay like triple for a new property that's, say, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car space property, when right next door you've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car space property that's half the price. Okay, so at some point, the fact that you're buying close to replacement cost or under replacement cost is intrinsically a good investment, right? So those are the important things to think through. I'm just going to hit off the 3 important ones once again. Cash flow: how much does this property cost me to hold? What is the land value of the property I'm purchasing? And is this property at or near, or ideally under, replacement cost if I was to build the same thing today? All right, guys, hopefully that helped. Good luck investing. Don't buy with emotions. See ya. Bye.